Hey, Brother Barash, this is a response to your email with the apprenticeship program. So during your test, I had you I wanted to see how well your cloaking was, and you were surprised of how I was able to follow you. So I was able to describe it perfectly. You had left your house, you had went to Barnes and Noble, and then you had drove back to your home. Even with your cloaking on, you stated that it works with most people, but I saw through it. It isn't because I'm stronger than you. Each of us are gods. I want you to realize your potential. It is because when you block out divinatory sight, there are things that, see, you were looking for my sight on the void. You're familiar with how my energy feels. You wanted to know how I did it. Now, what I actually did it with was with the eyes of the dead. You see, every demon or angel or spirit or entity operates on a different frequency from one another. They're just as vast in their species and the way they see things, just like animals, humans, insects. They see in a very similar manner, but they see differently. So I was able to see you with the eyes of the dead, and here's how. I want you to get used to this frequency. Now, I work with an atrophy when it pertains to sight or divination. I work with Rishar. Now, Rishar taught me a very interesting method of binding the eyes of the dead, binding and enslaving the eyes of the dead, and using them as your own. So when I take over an entire cemetery, I had actually sacrificed, it was divination cards, tarot cards, and bones and many other materials, and I buried them within a crypt that essentially robbed the dead of their eyes. Now, what this actually does, allows me to perform omniscience projection better. This is one of the many ways that I'm able to watch various students and test them. But that's actually how. The other piece of this conduit is here. Rishar's seal is under here, and here are a blooded deck of cards, each of them with the name and seal of a different dead spirit etched within them. And underneath this vessel here is actually Rishar's sign, his true sign. As long as I have that one buried within the crypt, this one is actually just so I could show you. This one is one that I haven't buried yet because I wanted to recruit and collect more spirits. But that's actually how. And you have to understand, there are things that come for us just because we are aligned with. Things see on different frequencies than we do. And if I could do it, you bet your ass an ancient demon or old one or something can do this quite easily. But other than that, you actually did pretty well. You actually passed. Now, in the next teaching, when you're ready to proceed, I'm going to teach you how to go unseen using those abilities. But that's all there was to it. Just start looking for various methods to cover yourself, and don't just search for one frequency. There's a possibility of to where you can be seen, but there are different. I've sent you the chants and the rites prescribed in the Grand Grimoire. You should be able to block out all frequencies, And that's what I want you to master as well before we move on to the next lesson. With that, I think you'll understand how to actually cloak your work better. And the reason, I've already told you some of the reasons why this is important, but the reason is, let's say you fire off a vampiric seal, or some of the ones that I gave you to drain someone's intelligence or wealth. There are actually certain beings that will protect humans. Remember, this has to pass through a filter. And certain entities, if they see this just ball of dark energy going towards its target, it'll likely be picked up by some celestial or another being who actually, these automatons, these entities are actually programmed to heal desecrated areas or stop certain forms of black magic. And that's one of the things that's going to happen. I've seen them do this with my own sight, peering through the void. So, like, let's say I draw a vampiric sigil to strike at someone, and I fire it off through burning it. Now, this is going to cut through the aether. It's going to cut through the veil. And if there are any celestial or holy entities around that want to protect people, it's going to snatch this out of the ether and begin purifying it. So what I would normally do when using that type of thing, I will put the fallen Enochian seals on the back of the on the back of the seal. Or if you're not pressed for time, you can draw the celestial anguish. Anything I use sigil wise, I will place the celestial anguish on the back of the seal, so it doesn't get plucked out of the aether. When you put the celestial anguish on the back of the seal, they actually cannot touch it. They will attempt to try, because even when you're cloaking your work or yourself, there's a very good possibility that they may see it. But I wanted you to understand that. Try starting off doing something small. Start by using the vampirization seal that I gave you, and pick a target and use it on someone, but put the celestial anguish on the back of it with the runes for holy desecration on the back of it. They won't be able to touch this without dying. And what's going to happen is, the way that stuff is designed, it's going to take their energy after it devours them, and it's just going to begin snowballing into your target and getting bigger until it envelops them. And you'll see what I mean. But thank you for your update and for your patience as well.